If you think about it, right? What's the point in living? Okay, that sounds terrible. You could just do like short-term dopamine activities constantly and be like, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. But that doesn't lead to long-term happiness. Long-term happiness comes from like stuff that leads to fulfillment and purpose and achieving your goals. Or the only way you can get to achieve that level of happiness is by doing things you don't want to do. So it's so interesting because you have to do things you don't want to do what you want to do. And it's like a never-ending cycle. And eventually you just have to be hardened enough to know that you just have to do these things. And that's kind of where I'm at in my life. For a while there, I was like, fuck, I really hate doing these things. There's going to be a better way to do it, or blah, blah, blah. I don't want to do it this way. You just get used to things. Like anything in life, man, you get used to it. Some things I used to do when I moved in, I was like, fuck, this is so much effort. And like, how do people do this, blah, blah, blah. And that now I'm just used to it. It's just like the routine. And it's also kind of nice when you get better at doing things. Like I've been cooking a little bit more recently, and this is how it is with everything. It sounds like some daunting task you don't want to do, and it seems like a bigger problem in your head. And yeah, it is hard, but if you go in with the mentality that it's going to be hard, it's probably not as hard half the time as you think it is when you actually do it. It feels good when you go into it the second time and you're a little bit better. You feel more fulfilled and more happy because you're doing them and you know you have to do them. And not only that, because it's probably leading to some goal, and that's why you're doing it in the first place. Maybe it's something like cleaning the dishes, for example. That doesn't have to be some long-term goal to lead to happiness, but it could be like, I know I'm not going to be happy if I don't do this by the end of the day. So I know, like, complete this task. I'll be able to like lie down in my bed at the end of the day and be happy that I know I did it, instead of sitting on YouTube or scrolling TikTok or something. You just feel like a loser, like brain rotted loser when you're sitting on TikTok and you know, or YouTube, whatever. Then when you know that you have things you have to do and you're just procrastinating doing them because you're like, I really don't want to do them, and you know that you have to do them and you know that you're procrastinating doing them. It's the worst feeling in the world. That is the worst feeling ever. I hate that. And I've been through that process so many times. It's crazy because you think after you do it like the first few times, you learn. You're like, I'm not going to do this next time. I've literally done that hundreds of times, made that mistake, and I always feel a shit, but you always just feel like weak in the moment. You're like, I don't want to do this. You're like, how can I motivate myself to get up? And then you get used to just doing it. This has been my motivator recently, which it's more of been like the opposite. I want to be happy at the end of the day, you know what I mean? It's not even about the task itself. It's just, I think to me in the future, I'm like, well, I don't want to be fucking unhappy at the end of the day, so I got to do this. And then I know I can be happy at the end of the day, and then the cycle just continues, and slowly but surely, it gives you fulfillment in the moment at the end of the day and whatnot. And also it builds, I guess, some sort of mental fucking strength or whatever, because you're doing things you don't want to do. I don't know about all that shit. But then you're also probably contributing to something that is an end goal of yours, which is the reason you're doing it in the first place. So you get long-term happiness. I'll tell you what, that is the most rewarding feeling ever. When you finish something over a long period, or something you've been working towards, and you've been doing it consistently, and you almost forgot why you were doing it. You just do it because you get that fulfillment on a daily basis and whatever. And you finally get that thing. Oh man, when you get there in the long term, that feeling is sweet. And that's how I feel about 10 million subscribers on this channel, man. I actually like making YouTube videos, believe it or not. And that's a long journey away. I just know that I'm not going to quit. It's like a delusional goal to have, but I know at least I'm not going to quit. So I don't see any reason why I shouldn't get there before I die. I was just feeling really down. I was like, what's the point of anything? I'm just sitting in my apartment alone. I don't really want to talk to anyone, because keeping up relationships and whatnot with people, it's exhausting. Like, I don't always want to text people all the time. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to constantly show up to things and whatnot. But then when you get by yourself, you feel lonely. So it's just like, bruh. But sometimes when I hang out, or I drink too much, or I hang out with people too much, I'm like, I just want to lock myself in my room and never see anybody again. One thing I've realized recently, actually, everything keeps moving. You know, everybody wants, like, with everything in life, that like stability, or once I get this, blah, blah, blah. Nothing is like set in stone. Or should I say set in wooden planks? Everybody's like, oh, once I get this relationship, life will be good. Or like, once I get this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sure you've heard this like a million times. They just get that and then they can be comfortable. It's the whole thing with retirement, which is why retirement's kind of a little bit silly. I mean, I kind of get it, but like a lot of people who retire will end up working again just because they don't know what to do with their life. And that's why I figured out pretty early on, like, even if I'm not making much money, I want to do things that I would want to do anyway, because I'm not going to spend my whole life being miserable. And I only get one of these, man. I only get one life. I'm not going to spend it being miserable. I would rather spend it being broke. I don't even know what to do when I get money, man. I just pay my bills and buy food. Like, you have to keep putting in effort. Everybody wants to get somewhere and then they can relax. That's not how life works, little bro. You know what I mean by things slip. If you don't do the things you need to do every day, when you're unhappy with yourself, you get into like a bad mental phase that makes it even harder to do the things you normally gotta do. You know, a lot of people say that. They want to get this thing, and once they get there, they can relax and whatever. Things don't stop moving. Everything keeps going. You need to just keep putting in effort. I moved to this apartment so I could be by myself, so I could have my own space, so that I could focus on YouTube and whatnot. And then I just said, like, I don't want to see people. I want to lock myself in my room and not see anyone. So it sounds perfect, right? So I'll speak for myself. I just feel lonely. You just feel lonely sometimes. And I don't know if that's just the apartment thing or that's just life, you know, being an adult, living by yourself. Every night you come home, your apartment's empty. It's no one there. Some days, like, I will not leave my apartment much at all. And it's just like, you're just literally no human contact the whole day and then talk to a piece of plastic because that's what I do. That cannot be good for your mental health. You see these videos where it's like how to be unhappy, and it's like, wake up, first thing you do is look at your phone, sleep in, and all these things. So I guess I checked the looking at phone box. It's not a good path to happiness. Maybe I need to start getting up and going for my run and rise and grind journaling, meditating. Because I wish everything could just be a joke, man. I really do. I wish everything was just funny. It's the only thing that feels fucking natural. I feel like that's how I was when I was younger. I wish everything could just be jokes, man. I don't know what it is about this game. I was thinking about why it's nostalgic, because a lot of people say probably because of the music, the way it's just peaceful. I don't even know. There's something nostalgic about the game, how simple it is. But I was thinking about things that people find nostalgic. A lot of British people find Harry Potter nostalgic. I grew up with Harry Potter as well. It's like nostalgic for me. And I was thinking about like why that is. Why are certain things nostalgic and why are some not? Okay, actually, I was gonna say Fortnite's not nostalgic, but now when I think about it, I remember when it first came out and like Ninja was ruling the world, streaming with Drake and stuff. That was a crazy time period, man. Like, it was just fun, like hopping on the Xbox or whatever with your friends and just playing duos in that game. What is it about these things that makes it nostalgic? I think it's when there's like an ecosystem around it. Okay, obviously it's not as simple as that. Like, so something like Minecraft, right? We all played it, most of us played it when we were younger. We kind of grew up with it. Like, when I think about Minecraft, why it's nostalgic, it's probably because, you know, there's the music. Music obviously plays into emotion, nostalgia, and memory. What just happened with the music as I say that? It triggers like emotion. When you feel something, I think it's more memorable than when you actually remember something. I just forget things, and if someone says, like from my childhood, and if someone says it to me, I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that. It's like stored away in my deep files. I guess the reason why Harry Potter is probably nostalgic is because there's a whole universe around it. If it was just like one movie, and it was like, okay, Harry goes to fucking Hogwarts, he meets Ron and Hermione, and it's this family movie, it wouldn't be as obviously remembered because there's 8 more of the movies and it's popular. But it's the fact that the universe keeps growing, and so there's music around it. It creates like an atmosphere. It creates its own kind of world almost. Because of that, I feel like it's memorable, or it becomes nostalgic because people like, they want to get absorbed in it, especially because of how it all links in, and the actors age. That's one of the craziest things. They really hit the jackpot with the actors in the movies because they all age, they're all mates. There was no like drug thing. They didn't fall out. Like, if you play Minecraft by yourself, usually you just get bored so quick. Even with people, it's like a whole thing, like the 2-week Minecraft phase, and then you get bored of it. But you always come back. You can't escape Minecraft, man. You leave Minecraft, but Minecraft never leaves you, because it is fun. But like, you get on it because you remember good times. You remember the feeling of when that music hits, man, and it starts going crazy. You're like, damn, I remember all the good times, stealing my friend's diamonds and not telling him about it. Literally just watching a bunch of like nostalgic Minecraft content. I guess the COVID era, when Among Us and Minecraft and Dream and Tommy in it and all that were huge back in that period. I was watching a lot of content that I remember I watched back in the day, just rewatching some of those videos. Like, damn, this game has always hung around in my life, and I don't know why. I really like it, except I never play it. It's this like weird like nostalgia bait thing where it's like, I remember it from my childhood, but it's still fun to play, and I love making content around it. But then actually playing it, it's such a weird thing, and I can't put my finger on it, but I keep coming back, and I know I'll always come back because it's nostalgic. It's got this feeling to it with the music and whatnot, in the same way as I said with Harry Potter. When I make these Minecraft videos, I try and make them like relatable, and where not everybody gets to do YouTube for a living. I'd say the 2 things that I guess are unique to me, to my situation compared to the normal, is being 6'6", because not everybody is this height, I've begun to realize. So that's something I can't really relate to people. And doing YouTube as a job, because that's not something most people have the luxury of doing. Although I reckon, like, if you really wanted to do YouTube as a job, like, I'm talking like actually really wanted to, because I remember there was a point when I was trying to do YouTube as a job, like, there's all those cringe sayings like, you can't climb the ladder of success with your hands in your pockets. Yeah, especially something like YouTube where it's like anyone can record themselves and shit. You gotta do some preparation for that shit. I did have a life outside of YouTube, but like I really just sat in my room all day, and I really just like focused on YouTube, like literally obsessed over YouTube. That's all I would do, obsessed over YouTube. I'd stay up all night, I'd stream, I'd think about YouTube, I'd watch Mr. Beast interviews, I'd watch interviews for everything, I'd watch like Technoblade clips on like him talk about YouTube. Every good YouTuber that was killing it at the time, literally anyone you can think of, like I watched it all. I have hundreds of pages in my notes. I went on hundreds of walks, I remember, middle of the night, thinking of ideas, YouTube strategies, everything in my notes. And then I obviously did like 30-hour streams, 24-hour streams. I just remember I grinded, but I didn't see it as work. Those were the happiest days of my fucking life. Those were the happiest days of my life, when I was sitting in my room alone. I would look forward to getting home, because then I could do what I really wanted to do, which was sit in my room, think about YouTube, and just try and get to where I wanted to be. And now I am literally beyond where I could ever imagine I would ever be in my, well, I actually did imagine I would be here, because that's kind of what I tried to be. That's where I literally imagined and wanted to get to. But like, now that I'm here, I'm like, oh my God, this is great. But also, fuck, I was way happier before. And the reason is because I neglected my real life so hard that now I'm 24. As OJ likes to put it, my frontal lobe has fully developed. And now I'm like, well, shit. Now I have to live my real life. Now I have things in my real life that I've neglected and I have to take care of. And I find, especially ever since I've been back, now that I've had perspective with a bit of traveling, I'm like, oh my God, there are so many things. Things are hard, really fucking hard for me right now. I don't know why. Mentally very hard. I don't know fucking why. Whatever I want to achieve, essentially, I just obsess over it until I get it to where I want to be, which is satisfactory to myself. And now I'm like, I seem to be obsessing over like things in my personal life, and it's hard, man. I have so many nights, including tonight, so many days where I'm so miserable, and I go for a late night drive, and then I try and go to bed as early as possible because I don't want to look at my like phone. I don't want to scroll. So I just can't look at my phone. Like I used to sit on the internet all day, and yeah, it'd be bad, but I could handle it better. Now I just don't. I really try not to do that. Really try and spend as much time in my real life with talking to people. It makes me really enjoy talking to people more, because there's way worse things to do, and it just feels good. And I used to go to bed in the middle of the night, stay up all night, do my shit. But now I don't want to stay up. Like this is midnight. This is like the latest night I've had in ages. I don't want to stay awake, because I would rather be up early with the sun and around people, feel mentally as good as possible, and then go to bed early. So I don't have to think about things when I go to bed. I don't want to. It should be illegal to think past 9 p.m. I just want to go to my bed, wake up the next day, not think about anything, and just do that shit again and enjoy my life as much as possible, because it's just not worth overthinking shit half the time. And I also would rather spend my life around people than by myself with my own thoughts, because it can drive me fucking insane. So I've just been like a roller coaster. It's been like I have really bad days and really good days. It's actually just been like that. And it's usually because I have such a bad day, because I'm so harsh on myself, because I'm not happy with where I am in my personal life and whatnot. But then when I get I get horny for an achievement, when I get a little bit of something I'm striving towards so hard, and I finally get to see a little bit of results towards that thing, because I'm going at it every day, like literally it's my only focus, like tunnel vision, then I'm ecstatic, and I have such a good day, and I feel so good, and I go to bed and I sleep well. And obviously it's hard for me. I can't I know I'm living the dream, and I act like my job's the hardest job in the world, but it's just weird, because I remember when I was sitting in my room, all I would ever want is where I'm at now. And now that I'm here, I'm like, okay, now there's other things to focus on, and these things I'm focusing on are really challenging for me for some reason. I don't know why. Everything's hard. Life's hard, man. Smash like if life's hard for you too. It just has been recently. I feel like maybe I'm just remembering the past as way easier than it was. But yeah, I generally hate making these videos because I don't like being so open on the internet. This is the reason why. I hate doing them at the time, and I hate looking back because I cringe watching videos like this, but I'm sure some people can relate. At least one person can relate in some way to something I'm saying. And also, I've always liked the idea of having like a catalog of different points in my life on my YouTube channel, and then I can look back and be like, oh yeah, that's how I was feeling at that time. That's how I got through it, or whatever. Because like I'm just gonna forget. Like I'm gonna forget this feeling, but I know I'm gonna get through it. Like I'll be fine. And so that's basically the story of my life these days. One thing though I do like, it's actually crazy. Like everything I wanted like a few years ago, I have now. Like my YouTube is doing better than ever. I'm more confident than I've ever been in my life. But it comes with these things that I didn't realize. These like new issues have popped up, and I'm like, what the fuck? These weren't meant to be here. I didn't realize I was doing this, but I journal a lot. And it's not like I'm wake up at 6 a.m., sit by the mountain, write things down, meditate for 30 hours. You know what I mean? Like I don't make an effort to do all that morning routine shit or anything. I just have always written stuff down in my notes just because it helps me remind myself of things and know how to handle my thoughts when I have like reoccurring situations, I guess. It's going to be Jova for me at some point in the future. I'm not a perfect human being, so there's going to be something in the future, 100%. And I don't know what it is. I don't know. I feel like it's impossible not to be. Haven't messaged any minors or anything mad, but like, I just feel like can't avoid it. Like something, you'll make some mistake at some point, some little slip up. Half the reason I want to do a slow build on YouTube is people don't really know who you are. You just shoot up all over it. That sounds weird. Shoot up all over in their faces and in all over their feed. And they're like, who the fuck is this guy? Get the fuck away. I don't want to see you. I love doing YouTube, but I also don't want to be huge because I don't know if I want my like real life to be compromised, but also everything gets scrutinized, man. Everything, like it was kind of bad timing when I saw YouTubers like Moist Critical or Penguin Zero and Ludwig backing away from doing drama videos. But at the same time, I get where they're coming from, like being forced to do those types of videos. No matter what you say, you're just going to get like hated. Dream was just a Minecraft YouTuber. Obviously he had his own controversy with like cheating and speedrunning, but like YouTuber who played Minecraft with his friends. Partly because of how fucking big he was, there was a massive fuck off microscope on him. And that's the danger of becoming so big. I mean, especially with someone like Dream becoming so big so fast. And that's why I kind of like the slow build. When you become so big so fast, you're bound. It's so every time you just crash so quickly. Unless you're one of the lucky few who makes it through. Maybe you just do a Sunny V2 and never respond to anything. Maybe that's the best play. And that's how I kind of feel like not responding to anything. Just keep going no matter what. And just like turning the internet off for the day. Sometimes after I post a video, I'm like, I don't even know how this is going to be received. And I don't want to like keep refreshing the feed to make sure it went the way I wanted it to. I just sometimes will just turn off my PC and go to bed and be like, okay, we'll look at this in the morning when people have had a chance to think about it. I've had this like idea of how I want my YouTube channel to look. I literally have like a long-term vision of like how my YouTube channel is going to go essentially in my mind. And I know it's going to be more successful in the future. And it's almost like if I stick to my idea of how I want my YouTube channel and whatnot to look by uploading it like every day pretty much, I know that it's going to be like very successful in the future, which I think it's still pretty fucking successful now. It's crazy to me that I can upload like an unedited video and get some of the viewership I get. Kind of unreal, but that's just, I guess, longevity and being around for a while. Especially like some of my KFC Clash videos having millions of views and then hundreds of videos on this channel with hundreds of thousands of people having watched it. I mean, even if you're used to seeing someone, you can still think they're a tosser and not want to watch them. Like there's plenty of people on the internet like that, but they still get views, man. There's an audience out there for everything. Internet's a weird place. It's actually crazy. Back in the day, the fucking meta of what you see online would not have a shred of a chance of existing. Today's world, man, everybody and everything is represented. Everybody's included in a happy, perfect world that we have today. We need to bring misery and bullying back, right guys? Smash like and subscribe for bullying. Live that real life shit more than I used to, I guess. Somehow be better for my YouTube channel, and it makes sense because I guess if I'm enjoying my life more and I'm better at talking to people, I'm therefore better at talking to a camera and I'm a healthier mind state, so I make better videos, the content's better. I didn't actually think I would get to this point. Like, this is like the first time in my conscious life where I'm like, I haven't been wanting to be online all the time and whatnot. Internet's a great place. Even though I don't actually use Instagram. I don't use Reels. I don't use TikTok or any of that. I just don't want to engage with it. I think it's a waste of time. Yeah, I just don't see the benefit and I don't like it. I feel like a zombie. I'll happily sit on YouTube all day, scroll that. I feel like the only creator I know that I haven't seen some huge cancellation for that's like blowing up quickly is probably Queso. Probably because he's, from a outsider's perspective, pretty harmless. Everybody likes, you know, the funny guy who plays games and he's willing to laugh at his own weight and whatnot. Pretty hard to hate on. He seems pretty humble and whatnot as well. Kind of my thoughts from the deep subconscious. That's coming together, man. Look at that. That's Hall of Fame shit.